this all surrounds Trump's immunity.
Or the alleged allegation, I should say, that he has that. That's the argument that his defense has been putting out there from the very beginning, that while there were two cases going on, one in the courtroom, there was one in the court of public opinion, and their defense the entire time has been he's immune, not just immune, but absolutely immune from criminal prosecution. You mentioned that he'll be in court in New York. He'd rather be in court in D.C. listening to oral arguments, but the judge rejected his request to go there, saying that while I appreciate and understand that case is extremely important, however, we have a case here in this courtroom that's also equally important.
Khalif, we know you have a crystal ball. How do you think this is all going to turn out?
Well, the crystal ball for me is typically looking at the past and looking at the immediate past. 2020, the court heard something similar to this. Trump and his team attempted to say, look, justices, we are immune from answering a subpoena for taxes on a state probe. And it went up to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court said unanimously, we hold that you are not immune from that, and you do have to respond. They sent it back to the lower court, but the manner in which they did it allowed them to kick the argument around for maybe 5 or 6 months. So I think even though he lost that case, he kind of won the day because it kicked it out further. I think that's what happens here in that same case. They'll make a decision that he is not immune because there's nothing that would say that he's immune in the law. So now they'll say that, yes, this case can go back and they can proceed on the state level, but it's been kicked around so long that ultimately these cases have been prolonged because of the delays and because of the legal challenges which are there. And so his attorneys have done an excellent job of maneuvering the system and delaying, giving him time to also run a race for president and fend a defense for multiple fronts for cases in multiple states.
Well, and that's what I was going to say. There's a lot going on here. We've got 4 criminal indictments. We've got what's happening at the Supreme Court today. How soon? Eventually, there will be a decision.
I mean, I think this one comes down in June, and I think they send it back to the states and say, yes, you're not immune. You have to go and actually fend off these cases. I mean, and while we're talking about these cases, new cases are popping up. Arizona just indicted Mark Meadows and Giuliani. Obviously, the connection to Trump and the false elector scheme is there. And so while other states where they had these schemes of attempting to circumvent the election is what the prosecutors are saying, if the court finds that he does not have absolute immunity, you will see these progress at a lot faster pace. And I might add, you'll also see some of the co-defendants starting to take deals a lot quicker, because right now folks are saying, you see all that quick rush of folks taking them in the Georgia case, right? And then there was a pause. There's a delay because now they're saying, wait, if he's immune, I may be immune. And so these are the types of things that are out there, and we're waiting to see what happens. Yeah, his presidential immunity would stop him from being prosecuted, but these other folks are saying, well, if he couldn't have done it, how could I have been in a scheme to help him if what he did was legal? That would be their attorney's argument as well. And so this will be a Pandora's box if it goes the other way. But I think the justices will say that he is not absolutely immune.
So following that timeline, then, we should probably see a trial in the fall, which means we're going to be in the middle of people getting to the polls and Trump on trial.
There may be this trial, obviously in New York, should be over by that time, right? And so then you're talking about what other case could potentially be up. The D.C. one should have already started in March, and then it got postponed, and so that could potentially be up next. Whatever's happening in Georgia on the state case could also be happening. There's so many moving parts, but yes, in November we will have an election, but we'll also maybe have 1 or 2 other trials happening for the former president.
Certainly a unique election season, Khalif. Thank you for that.